All right, everybody, welcome to One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. I'm your host, Kirk DeMars, and tonight we've got a fun program. I've got a good friend of mine, glad to get him on here. And now that I've shared this, I'm going to stop looking down at my phone. So, thank you guys for being on here tonight. This guy is what I would call one of the great ones. Not only as a coach and a fixture right here in Jefferson City, but also a man that has great Christian values and is a good friend, and have been able to have several different interviews with him. And you're going to enjoy this one as we visit tonight. We're about done with 2025, and this man's had a lot of time here in Jefferson City, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his career, family, and what the future holds. So, without any further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring on my friend, Coach Scott Blake. Coach, how you doing?
I'm well, thank you, Kurt. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming on. We've done this a couple times, and this one's a little bit different because you're going to be doing some different stuff here.
Yeah, it's been a good. I guess it's been a good run. Hopefully, we're not done. I know we're not done talking, but
Right.
definitely love to get back on the program, even from a distance, if there's ever an opportunity to
Absolutely.
do that. So I've always enjoyed getting together off screen, on screen with you, and appreciate all you do for our athletes and our programs in the area.
Yeah.
It's been great.
Well, greatly appreciate you and have enjoyed the opportunity to be able to visit. And one thing I want to just, you remember the first time that we met, and why don't you tell us a little bit about that, where that was? And I mean, it's been a while ago.
It has been a while, but I think of it often. I've met so many great people in Jefferson City, but um, one of the first people I guess I'll talk about to the people that are watching. I remember working at the soccer office at 179 Soccer Park, and a car pulled up, and I was unfamiliar, so I stuck my head out the back door, and I realized it was somebody I did not know it was Kirk, but did not know was taking pictures of an athlete. I could tell it was an athlete that had a jersey on, and it wasn't one of our athletes. I think it was maybe one of Flyers' athletes. And they were taking some pictures, and just I was curious. I was kind of watching, and I think he realized that I was snooping around a little bit, maybe kind of curious as to who was on the field, and came walking across, and I think we met in the office, and got to know each other a little bit for the first time. I had heard about the program and Sports Soccer Magazine, and was able to put a face with a name. So I'd heard your name around the community, Kirk, and knew you were doing great things before I was even here. And I remember that in the office you asked a lot about our program, a lot about me, and got to know each other. But then finished it off with a prayer, and
Yeah.
that stuck with me. It stuck with me that you would could have two people that just kind of found themselves in a common space, that were able to connect like that. So just life is fast and the world moves fast. So when you have moments like that where somebody takes the time to come over and really talk with you, and then to add the prayer piece, the faith piece to it, I've just always cherished that moment and
Yeah.
cherished our relationship as well.
Yeah. Well, as you were talking about all that, you're saying you're looking out there, didn't recognize, I'm thankful you didn't call the police on me.
Well, as long as you didn't have a dog with you, I was okay. We used to
Okay.
chase people. A lot of people like to walk their dogs out there, and oftentimes they would leave a little gift out there for us. And I
Yeah.
always tried to keep an eye on that and walk the field before our players got out there. Just I didn't want our athletes to come out on the grass and
Yeah.
have something.
A little
It's not so
gift.
much a gift. Yeah, it's not really a gift to the players, but so I definitely noticed quickly you were not walking your dog, but you were
No.
there for good reasons. You were there with an athlete, so
Yeah.
wasn't too awful concerned.
Well, good. Good. That's awesome. Why don't you go ahead and just tell us a little bit about, just your career at Jefferson City High School, and, just the opportunity as well as the highlights for you.
Yeah, it's been 20 years exactly at the end of this school year. So, 29 years in education and 20 years at Jeff City High School, and the way I've described being at Jeff City specifically is it's kind of my dream job. The opportunity uh, to come back to your alma mater. I graduated in '93, way back when. I like to say we were wild and free in '93, but I don't think it was that wild. Um, so to come back and represent your program in a different way and give back to the programs that and the school that shaped me was something I took very seriously and honestly was a goal of mine. So I had 9 great years at Camdenton.
Mhm.
That definitely was part of my development as well, but always had kind of a special eye for Jeff City. So
Yeah.
I was feel blessed that I was able to work my way back to Jeff City. I've met so many wonderful people and had so many wonderful students and athletes that I've been able to be a part of their development as well, whether it's in the classroom or on the field. So um, the next thing for moving on, which I know we'll get into, is tough because I've built so many meaningful relationships
Right.
here in Jefferson City. But I also take a lot of great pride um, in what we've done, and also the support. I just the support that's been afforded me. The principals, the fellow teachers, the administrators, my coaches. Head coaches that believed in me, and assistant coaches that were loyal to me and have been loyal to me. I just
Mhm.
really have appreciated all that has happened and all those connections I've made in my career. So, I'm processing that,
Mhm.
of what this second semester is going to look like, and being the last of a lot of things. The last Christmas in our house.
Yeah.
It's the last spring semester. Maybe the last time to grade papers. I don't know. Some of those things aren't necessarily bad things, right? So,
Right. Right.
but it's also going to be my last semester to walk the halls at JC. To
Mhm.
as a staff member. So I'll come back and I'll be around, but I'm going to try and take time to enjoy these upcoming months, and we'll look back on Jeff City as being just again was my dream job,
Yeah.
and I'll continue to coach in the spring and teach in the spring and give it all I have, and until it's time to move on. So it's been
Yeah.
great.
Well, you've done an outstanding job there, and all the different times that I've seen you in action, and I can remember going over to Lewis and Clark, and it's interesting as I'm just saying that old Coach Q coming on here,
Oh
Darren
boy,
Kerwitt says my hero Scott
good one.
Blake, and so absolutely I can remember going over
Darren's
there, and
retiring.
you guys were hanging out in the gym.
Yep. Yep. Oh, some of the best years I had. I mean, I'm not just saying that. Q, as we call him, Q is a great coach, great teacher. He pretty well ran our department. He. Um, I don't take any shame in that at all. We knew who the leader was. He did a great job guiding us, and I enjoyed working with him. And what I love about it is we worked hard, but we also had fun doing
Yeah.
it. And I think that's important. If you're going to choose a profession, if you're going to, be in the trenches, so to speak, whatever
Mhm.
job you do, you gotta have a little fun doing it. And so when you can enjoy what you're doing and enjoy the people you're around, like Coach Q and I enjoy being around each other, then
Yeah,
it makes it that much sweeter.
that's
So
right.
he's Coach Q's retiring this year. So
What is it
and
with
he's
you
made his
guys?
formal
What's going
announcement.
on
So
here? Everybody's retiring. What's
I
going
don't
on?
know. I hope he doesn't follow me to Manhattan. I don't like him that much.
I don't think he's going to follow you to Kansas. I'm pretty sure he
Uh,
won't do that.
I think he's got other plans. So, but
Yeah,
thanks for
yeah,
noting that comment.
very good. This is kind of interesting. You were mentioning, what'd you say, Wild and Free in '93? Is that what you guys were?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I
You
guess
you,
I
you kind of wonder where they come up with stuff like that. Ours was even more in '84. And like, okay,
nice,
yeah.
nice.
So People are a little creative. Oh, the see, coach is saying Hawaii or bust. I kind of thought that's probably what he was looking at. So
That's where, okay, all right. I'm jealous now.
yeah,
Kansas or Hawaii? There's a clear winner there.
yeah. Come on, Darren. Where's your priorities? What's the deal? Snow on the
Yeah,
plains, or nice ocean and good temperatures.
that sounds good about right now.
Yeah. Well, another thing that you had mentioned that I wanted you to talk a little bit more about that, just the difficulty of stepping away from kids that you have had coming up, and that is a hard thing to separate from that. I can remember when we stepped out of doing youth group over at First Assembly. It was time, and I know that some of the kids that were coming up and some of the parents, they were disappointed that we were moving on, but there's that time, that's right. You have to move on. Somebody else needs to step in there. But it's hard because,
Mhm.
you've poured into them. They are like family to you. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Wow, I'm glad you asked that question because it's something that I'm still reassuring my players and the fellow teachers and people around me that are in the profession. They understand that, but young people oftentimes don't have that perspective. My athletes and there's been some tears and there's been some emotion on my end as well. Just leaving athletes that I want to continue to invest in and but I think trying to let them know that this is part of life. That you can't stay somewhere forever. That in your life you have to listen to where God takes you and follow your faith and take on new projects and challenges and there's different stages in life and I just turned 50 and I think think about what's next and think about what else can Scott Blake do and when I'm 70 I'm probably not going to do something like this. I'll probably be trying to find the rocking chair and settling down, but for now I think it's just trying to let my athletes know that it's not them. That I'm not leaving because of them. I'm
Right.
leaving because I need to find out what else is out there for me
Hmm.
and I have been very open and honest about my faith.
Hmm.
That has been a draw for me and is a draw for me. And I've always tried to lead through faith and be a role model. And I think in my new setting, that will be a bigger portion or a bigger part of my daily work. So
Hmm.
um, I that is where I'm at, and I just try to be very transparent about that and let the players know that I'm still here for you, and I'll, even when I'm in Manhattan, I'm
Hmm.
still going to come back to your senior night if you'll have me, and I'll still follow you, and I'm just a phone call away, and I also want the girls players, my Lady Jays, that we've got that season coming up. Continuously tell them, and I want them to know that I'm ready to coach this spring, and
Hmm.
we're gonna have the best season that we can this spring,
Yeah.
2026, and then at the end of the season we'll go on and we'll deal with those things,
Yeah.
but we're gonna give them our best, and my family's going to give the community our best here in the next
Hmm.
5 months or so, and then it'll be time to go on. It'll be tough. It'll be
Yeah.
difficult, but whenever I have the opportunity, I definitely want people to know, and I want students specifically to know that it's that is part of this process. Is thinking about that.
Hmm.
You pray about it and you think about it because there's always people you don't want to leave.
Right.
And so, but in order to grow, you have to get uncomfortable
Yeah.
sometimes,
Absolutely.
and we ask our athletes to do that. We ask our athletes to go and do things that they've never done before, try new things, and get out of their comfort zone. That's when growth happens. And so, I'm really kind of practicing what I've preached
Hmm.
for my coaching, and so I am a little uncomfortable, and it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah.
So So yeah, no, that's a good question, and it's one that I'm sure the emotion of that and the emotion of walking out of Jefferson High School for the last
Yeah,
time will hit me later. So we're going to prolong that as long as we can. Right?
right.
We're going to try to celebrate. We're going to try to keep working hard in the coming months. So
No doubt about that at all. We were talking about growing and being uncomfortable. For some reason, I'm just not picturing Coach Q being uncomfortable in Hawaii. I'm not seeing that.
no, not at all, not at all. I could get comfortable there for sure.
Okay, I'm just thinking probably the opposite.
I
Comfortable
think
would be the word
I
there.
think I could get comfortable there.
Yeah, that's awesome. You've been a part of quite a few things and changes. Of course, you went from Lewis and Clark, and you went on over to the high school, and then you were a part of the new soccer field, the new facility over there. Why don't you talk a little bit about all that?
So yeah, we have been through some things. It's some challenges and school split and you know uh, uh, just kind of the changes that came with that. Changing buildings, Lewis and Clark to JC, like you mentioned, and new facility on campus, and um, I feel like my um, when I was given the opportunity to kind of trying to wrap this up into like, not get too long with it. I remember there's a time when I was presented the opportunity to to kind of go an easier route or to take the challenges on and to take a bigger role in those challenges, specifically with the school split. And I really felt called at that moment that I needed to be part of that. I felt like as an alumni, I needed to be part of carrying us through some of those tough times.
Hmm.
The school split, keeping our J pride, be there for the athletes because uh, there was a lot of change going on all at one
Right,
time,
right.
and I felt like the programs needed somebody steady, and
Hmm.
I felt strongly about that calling to be there during that time. Things have kind of balanced out a little bit
Hmm.
now, and um, but I think if some of these opportunities that I've gotten recently would have come up 4 or 5 years ago, I don't think I would have even considered them
Right.
just because what the programs and community was kind of going through, and change is good. Change is good, uh, but somebody has to kind of lead you through that, and I felt called to do that, and now that that's stabilized a little bit, I feel like I can consider some other things that.
Yeah.
Um, there's no perfect scenario, right? There's still growth that can happen in the Jeff City programs, and I feel like Jeff City will hire uh, somebody good to take on the boys and girls programs. And I hope it's somebody that would kind of take care of the tradition and take care of some of why what
Hmm.
I've tried to carry on campus. The alumni connection, the history, so on and so forth. That'll hopefully continue to grow. So that would make me super proud as kind of an alumni of the program, both as a player and a coach, to look back and say, hey, you know what, we got through some of those tough times, and the program's just taken off.
Yeah.
I want it to reach new levels. I want there to be success here that we didn't find. Um, so yeah, it's been great. A lot of changes, but it's been for the good.
Yeah. Well, you've done an outstanding job, and I know that the administration would have to say the exact same thing. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about that too before we go to break. Um, how was everything with the administration when you let them know that you're moving on?
I think that's been pretty supportive. For me, this is not. It's a retirement.
Hmm.
It's I'm retiring from education.
Hmm.
I am still teaching, of course, teaching at higher ed. I'm not carrying a full time teaching job in the classroom per se, but I am doing two head coaching two programs, men and women's programs. So I'll be fairly busy. But I am retiring from from education. So it's I think it's hard for people to not support somebody that makes that decision, and I think especially after 29 years. So I could have easily seen myself staying in education for 30, 35 years. They may not have wanted me to stay that long, but they might have wanted the old guy to get on out of here. But I still have a lot of energy for education. I still have a lot of passion for what I'm currently doing. So I could have kept on going. I really could
Hmm.
have. And it's just again for me more. It's okay, moving on, trying some new things. And I think when I express that, I think I've gotten good support,
Yeah,
and I feel that support, and just want to continue to have that through the school year.
right.
Because like I said, I am continuing to teach and continue to coach, and there's
Hmm.
programs that we have to take care of. So
Right. Finishing well. Absolutely.
yeah, yeah.
Very good. Well, you said kick the old guy out. I'm 10 years older than you, so I don't know that. I don't know what that means.
Well, there's a hope for me. I guess they haven't kicked you out, so maybe there's a hope for me.
No.
No,
Thank.
not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. No, you've done an outstanding job, and I know that the families have been extremely appreciative of you and pouring into their kids, and not only as coach but also as mentor. I mean, that's been a great thing that you've done over there. So we appreciate
Thank
it,
you.
and I know they have. So, well, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and then we'll come back and we'll start talking about your family as well as what lies ahead. So, thanks for
Thank
coming on. Always outstanding job. So, appreciate you.
you.
All right, we'll be right back in just a moment.
CNS Business Services has been connecting employees with employers since 1977. Recently, CNS rebranded to CNS Employment Solutions to more clearly define their mission of serving the needs of applicants, employees, and businesses while remaining current and evolving with the changes in the workforce. One important thing has not changed. CNS Employment Solutions partners with a wide variety of employers, placing employees in jobs that match their skills and needs.
Say yes to CNS.
All right, CNS Employment Solutions, they've been with us from the beginning with Sports Soccer Magazine. And as you guys know, we are just finishing our 10th year of publication. And it seems like only yesterday that we got started with everything, but so many interviews with student athletes and coaches, great coaches like Coach Scott Blake. And we just appreciate the opportunity to get to know all these students and all these coaches. And we appreciate the schools allowing us to be able to tell their stories. Also, again, appreciate businesses like CNS Employment Solutions for what they do for this program, the magazine, and more importantly, what they do for our community as far as helping people find jobs that need a job. And then they help employers find people to fill those positions. So they do an outstanding job with that, as well as offering a whole bunch of great events that they help participate in, bringing to Jefferson City things like Redemption Inside the Walls and great Christian concert as well as Redemption Junior this past year. And I think they're going to have something with that this year. And I think another one that's coming up will be Redemption Rap. And so that last year they had Redemption Rocks. So there's lots of different things that they're doing. So excited about what lies ahead and appreciate everything they do. As far as coaches go, we appreciate Big Whiskies for sponsoring our Coach of the Issue, and they always do an outstanding job as far as helping us supporting Mid-Missouri coaches like Coach Mark Bridges from Fatima, just like we've had Coach Scott Blake, and then we also have Coach Jim Marshall that's on here now. I see him, and thank you for being on here, Coach. And we just appreciate Big Whiskey's recognizing all the hard work that our coaches put in. They spend a lot of time away from their families. They spend a lot of hours, and there's just so many things that people don't see that they do behind the scenes. And like I mentioned, not only coaching but also mentoring and making a difference and impacting the lives of these young men and women. So we really appreciate them. All right, we've been talking to Coach Blake, and we are going to get back to the second half of our interview. All right, Coach, thanks for being on here. I want to quickly bring up Jim Marshall is saying former Jay who came back to coach his alma mater and did a heck of a job. So thank you,
That's
Coach.
awesome.
Appreciate that. Yeah,
Thank you, Coach Marshall. Appreciate you. You
yeah.
talk about
He's
legend. There's a
yes.
long line of legends that I followed.
Yeah.
What a great example. I sorry to take over. I just got to comment on that. It's just um, such a long line of great coaches that have been in the district, but also that continue in the district. So I got a lot of great role models myself. So a lot of coaching is just copying what you see done well.
Hmm.
It's just so it's I've had a lot of mentors and a lot of great people. Jim Marshall's one of them. He's awesome.
Yeah, that's great. Uh, so we talked a little bit about JC. I did want to bring up one thing. You were a part of our most watched interview that we've ever had. I think we had almost over 30,000 views with Livert Sisters.
Oh
Um,
boy, yeah,
and
rightfully
you,
so. That's good. It was not me. I tell you that right now. It's
well,
always the kids. It's always the
tonight
athletes, right?
I'm expecting like 50,000 tonight since you're 50. I thought we could have somewhere around that we could do there.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
that interview was so funny because Sarah was down in Mexico at the time, and we had Izzy was I think in Arkansas at the time, and then we had you and myself here, and then we had Jay in Colorado. So we had people all over the map. But I can remember those guys that were constantly commenting to Sarah, like, Sarah, why don't you get back with me? I mean, they were like stalking her on the program
It
from
was it was
Mexico.
a real thing, a real
Yeah,
thing for sure. I think she had to deal with that. That she's very popular in Mexico, still there,
yeah,
and she's one of their highlight players. I mean, she plays well, but the fans definitely are showing their appreciation. Hopefully, not in the stalking way,
right.
but there was some of that I think going on. So
Yeah,
maybe you'll have to have Sarah on again to talk to her a little bit about that the life of a pro player,
right.
and the trials and tribulations you go through. But you talk about that interview. We had you've been such a great catalyst for unbelievable conversations, connecting people and getting people. Izzy and Sarah, commented often after that interview about the connection that they were able to make with each other because you
Mm,
asked questions that it showed an appreciation for
mm,
sisters through the game of soccer, and I don't think they had been in very many situations, definitely not on video live, to have to talk about their appreciation for a sibling. So
yeah.
I think they really appreciated that opportunity. And two wonderful soccer players that came out of the Jeff City, soccer community. Izzy just finished up at SLU. She transferred, went to SLU. Had a great career there. She's considering her options as far as the next level as well.
Hmm.
And so, great interview, awesome people, but you did a heck of a job bringing all that together.
Well,
Really, really good.
key ingredient was you, of course. So that we
No,
appreciate
it
you
was
setting that
Sarah.
up.
It was definitely Sarah. Definitely the girls. Definitely the girls. And I think another one that we had that kind of rings the bell is Coach Askins with volleyball, being
Yeah.
able to come on with you and co-host with her, and she's still at JC, done a great job. And so a lot of great people that you are putting in front of these cameras. So it's
Well,
awesome.
it's been a lot of fun, just in the fact that just having conversations with people, and it's kind of funny. A lot of times I have to tell people before we come on live that there's a couple of parts in there when we do the opening intro, when we do the commercial break in between. Our microphones are live, so they can hear anything in the background. And I can remember when we were interviewing Neil Smith from the Kansas City Chiefs, and it was at the commercial break, and his kids were messing around in the back, and he yelled at them. You could hear it loud and clear. And thankfully, there was clean language, so that was all good.
That's a good thing. Yeah, hot mic, hot mic.
Yeah, absolutely. But that was a lot of fun. I always laugh at that story. So just being able to, it's kind of the thing, just in case you lose it, just remember we're live.
Yeah, yeah, that's right. That's
Well,
great.
why don't you talk a little bit about your family? I know you have a great appreciation for them, and boy, you and Jennifer just do an outstanding job supporting your children. And I mean, you've logged a lot of miles as well as keeping busy lives here.
Yeah, the home team, like I like to call it, the home team. It's it's been wonderful. It's I think been a labor of love for both of us. Obviously, Jennifer has her own career, but as a physical therapist, but she is 100% ingrained in mine as well. And I don't. I've said this very publicly, and I mean it, that I don't get to do what I do with the evening hours and all the extra commitment without supportive home. And so my wife has been fantastic, allowing me to chase this soccer ball around, and she's going to let me chase it a little bit more at the college level, which I figured I thought at some point I might use up my years. I thought there might be like a conversation of, okay, I think I'm done being in a soccer field and having soccer dinners and late soccer calls, and but she hasn't. She's just kind of continued to allow me to chase this passion. It's one of my passions. It's not my only
Yeah.
passion, but another one that you just questioned about is family. It's just
Hmm.
extremely important to me. And yeah, I remember when I was a younger coach, I didn't always have that in perspective.
Hmm.
And as you get older, you start to have a different appreciation for what's been done for you and maybe some of the things you've missed. So I'm keenly aware of you know uh, the commitment, and I found a way to manage that. I would say specifically probably the last 15 years.
Hmm.
The second half of my coaching career, I think, has been I've learned to leave some of that stuff at the field and go in the front door and be dad and husband and find a way to kind of help out. And when you step when season hits, it's really it's tough on a family. The family
Right.
kind of has to go on, and the process has kind of changed a little bit. And I'm a typical man. I come in, I want to fix things, I want to change things. Well, I got to realize that it's my job to blend in. It's my job to kind of figure out what the rhythm of the home is. And so I think when I kind of figured that out, and things got better and have gotten better, and um, yeah, it's tough. It's tough. The coaching life can be tough on a family, but I think I've gotten a lot of and my energy comes from my family.
Hmm.
So my kids included. My kids have been coaching since they were born, since they were little, and um, but I've also gotten better. Like I said, gotten better in balancing all that out. So
Right.
extremely thankful for my family and their part in this journey. It's been all of us. So when you
Mm.
get me, you got me and my family. So
That's right. Well, you got an awesome family, and we've interviewed, of course, Ethan a couple of times as well, and we've had Abby on, and just enjoyed both great young man and young woman. You guys have done an outstanding job, and one of the memories that I have, as well as my daughter Katie, who is the photographer, when we were out doing Ethan's photo shoot, and we were trying to get live action and make it as realistic as possible. And she was asking, just go ahead and kick the ball past my head. And it got pretty close.
yeah, yeah, I
made
hear.
made her just a little bit nervous because that would have
That's
hurt. And
great.
he knew
Yeah,
he
that
got
was.
close. He was like, "Oh, sorry."
Whoops. Yeah, they're both doing fantastic, and they've enjoyed their interviews. Both are graduating this spring, and we're on to other things. So it's kind of exciting to see how they've kind of grown, and like I said, it's just very rewarding.
Yeah. Well, again, outstanding job. And wanted to quickly, we have another comment here by Paul Hickman. Says, Blake, great leader on the field and off the field, built a quality program, and who follows will do well because he will not leave the program empty of talent. So thank you, Paul. Appreciate
That's
that.
very nice. Thank you,
And
Paul.
absolutely a true statement. So, talk a little bit about, well, one other thing I wanted to mention about Ethan, and this really got my son-in-law Jay, and I mean, Jay. we would do the speed round usually at the end of our interviews with the student athletes, and one of the questions that we would ask, what is your favorite go-to snack or meal after a game or a practice? And the answer that Ethan gave literally left Jay almost speechless, and that was white rice.
Yep.
And
Yep.
Jay was waiting for like chicken with it or anything, any meat
I think
with
he
it.
said
He's just,
steak. I think he said, "You mean with a steak, uh, like right close by?" And
nope,
he's like,
just white
"No,
rice.
chicken and rice." Yeah, he was shocked by that. He
Yeah,
was
he
shocked by
was.
that.
He
And
was.
he's kept that up. The
Yeah,
crazy enough. It's sustained him, and he's still at it, eating healthy, and he'll get his degree in exercise nutrition. Um, so he was onto something. He's
yeah,
doing very well with it.
yeah. Well, why don't you talk real quick about both of their careers at what they've been doing?
Yeah, I appreciate the opportunity. Yeah, that's Abby is going to graduate from Manhattan Christian, where I'm going to be heading. In fact, her connection to Manhattan Christian as a student has been kind of led to my connection. Honestly, I like to joke and say, "Well, Abby never realized Abby was going to get me a job," which she didn't. But there's more to it than that, right? But it has led me to getting to know the administration, um, and as a parent, being able to support Manhattan Christian College. Very easy to support what they're doing there. Um, Both in the volleyball program where Abby played, but also just the people around the campus. Obviously, we were sold as parents. My daughter had a great career there, and so it's easy to consider. Okay, well, hey, I'd like to be part of that. So I love the vision. I love the focus, and so she's going to graduate this spring. She's going to have a degree in counseling, and she does want to go on to her master's. So she may go across the street to K State University, and so we're actually going to be moving pretty very close to Abby. So we're looking forward to cutting into that distance a little bit and see what she does. She is very gifted in working with people, and she's especially drawn to the geriatric population.
Mhm.
So she's done
Good.
an internship here at our church in Jeff City, and did some really great things there. And she kind of specializes in grief and grief counseling. So that's kind of what she's pursuing. She's going to be wonderful. She's
Good.
got a great heart, and super excited to see what she does with her life as far as her career goes. And then Ethan is going to graduate this spring. He took a gap semester, so he's kind of prolonged it just a little bit here.
Hmm.
But he's going to finish up this spring. He does have the freedom, thankfully, to continue to pursue the pro game.
Hmm.
So he had some really good experiences last winter, and so he signed with an agent, one that really believes in him, a small agency, and he actually is leaving for Detroit this weekend. So
Okay.
he's been went to the Michigan Combine, and he did very well there. He got a call from Detroit, and so there's a couple teams kind of looking into him. So we'll see if he can hit that next level. I know he wants to give it a shot, and I think
Yeah.
he's very capable, very capable. So they had both had good fall seasons. As far as their college last college seasons, Abby's team won the national championship
Hmm.
in volleyball, which was something that was amazing to watch. Very talented team, super great people in the program, great coaching staff, and then Ethan's team won the conference for the
Hmm.
first time ever and went to the national tournament for the first time ever. So both very successful. Um, One might say I'm living vicariously through my kids, and that you might be just a little bit accurate there.
Yeah.
They both reached levels that I have not as a player or a coach. So you're not supposed to be prideful, but I am proud of them.
That's
It's but I know God's at work in their lives, and that's they are wonderful at giving glory where it should be given.
Yeah.
And, so um, both are doing great.
Very good. Well, again, you guys have done an outstanding job, and I've enjoyed getting to know the two of them, and that definitely needs to be another interview that we do. Get the four of us on together. Maybe we'll even throw Jay in there, see if we can get him to come on and
Oh, that
talk
would be fantastic.
talk a little bit more about, if you know, about that white rice, and see his mind get blown again. Well, I just got a
Have him
couple more.
try that white rice. Have him eat
Yeah,
that white rice for a couple months.
yeah.
Then come on the program and let's see how happy he
See
is.
how it happens. He might be a little what is it, hangry?
A little hangry, yeah, right.
Well, we'll just do a couple more questions. Why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your new career, what you're going to be doing, and you've already mentioned it a little bit, but just kind of tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, yeah, we'll do for sure. So I think coming into this year, I was just there was no plans for this to be my retirement year, but it was just very kind of like I like to say organic, just kind of approaching the year. I think there's some opportunities kind of came open in the middle of the fall, and um, I when opportunities kind of come along, you have to think about them. Some are quickly dismissed, and others you require some thought. And so specific to the Manhattan Christian position, obviously, like I said before, I was already familiar with Manhattan Christian, their vision. Uh, the kind of the type of student that they're recruiting, and the focus on faith and in sports and being successful in sports. And so I being having that perspective made me want to kind of seek that out a little bit more. And so that position was offered, and so then I immediately had to kind of start thinking a little bit about, is this the year? Is this the time to pursue something like that? So a lot of prayer, a lot of just kind of looking for that peace, and is this the path I'm supposed to follow? Is this the specific position I'm supposed to accept? But I felt really great about those opportunities kind of coming out, and so I had to give it a consideration, and we did that, and Jennifer and I talked a lot, and it just happened. It was like, hey, you know what? I think it's time, and it's why not? Why not go?
Yeah,
We call this an adventure, and
yeah,
so and it really is. It's again, you want to. I think in life you want to feel challenged. You want to do new things and test yourself at doing different things, and so that's what this was. Um, and so I of course accepted the head men's and women's soccer positions at Manhattan Christian,
mhm,
and I'm already spending time with recruiting, and have been for about a month since the boys season finished. I'm using a lot of my evenings after hours and some weekend free moments to get on the phone and talk about the university and the vision, and share that, and bring people on campus. And so
yeah,
I've met a lot of great young people. It's really kind of interesting to have those conversations. I was having a lot of conversations with college coaches about my high school players,
uh-huh,
but seeing it from the other side, now prospective college players, and seeing how high school coaches promote their player from a different angle.
mhm,
I think my high school experiences um, that I've had make me a better college coach. And I've just started. I haven't had my first season in college yet, but I can see that it is going to be something that my high school experience is going to be something I can lean on. I
mhm,
know what the players are going through. I know what the coaches are trying to accomplish, and so the cool thing about the conversations I'm having with young people is that the faith can be a part of the conversation.
mhm,
It's most of the students that we talk to are looking for a faith-based institution, and so that can be right on the forefront. It can be
yeah,
right in the open, and it's a big part of why they're what the path they're choosing. So, and not for all. Our school is very good at meeting students where they are,
Hmm.
wherever their walk is. You know, young people that just want to know what faith is, know what who God is, all the way to the seasoned Christian that's been walking for years.
Hmm.
Um, it's amazing the array of where people are in their faith, and just a lot of great young people out there, and I'm looking forward to being part of recruiting them onto campus. So
Yeah.
it's going to be a tough. Both those seasons are in the fall,
Hmm.
and so I've had the luxury, I guess, of being able to do boys in the fall and having a 2.5, 3 month kind of break, if you will, and then go into the girls season. It's all going to hit at one time
Wow.
in the fall. So um, it's going to be there's going to be new challenges that are presented, and I'm excited to take those on head on.
Yeah. Well, yes, that will definitely be a busy time. I don't even know how you navigate that, but yeah, you'll get her
Yeah,
done.
yeah, for sure. Looking
You'll
forward
get it
to it.
done.
So
Well, as I told you before the program, I'm originally from Salina, Kansas, and we used to play against Manhattan High School. They were in the I-70 league, so I can remember in football that we thought they were like Nebraska corn-fed boys. I mean, they had these huge linemen, and here we were. Our guys weren't very big and stuff like that, but that was one of the things that I remembered. They were like the Nebraska Cornhuskers. So.
they kind of grew them a little different out there,
Oh
huh?
yeah, they grew them a little different in Manhattan, but great community. And you had talked about the Flint Hills, beautiful people. I know that everybody thinks about going through Kansas. It's a boring drive. Yes, they're right. You know,
Yep,
once you
yep,
get past Topeka and go, it's pretty much flat. From there.
yep.
But you do hit Manhattan. Manhattan is a good, nice hilly area. Junction City, Fort Riley's in Junction City, so you've got all of that going on in that area. And so, no, you're going to do an outstanding job. I
Yeah.
know it. So,
Well,
very good.
thank you.
Looking forward to
I might
having
have
that.
to be kind of careful wearing my Mizzou gear. I
Yeah,
think I asked a few people in Manhattan recently, how long do you think it would take me to be approached, not necessarily physically, but at least verbally, if I wore my Mizzou sweatshirt down the middle of Aggieville or through Manhattan, and they said, well, you'd probably be okay with a Mizzou sweatshirt. Now, if you wore KU blue,
yeah,
you'd be in trouble. So I
right.
think they might dislike KU more than Mizzou.
Yep,
So maybe
absolutely.
I'll be able to, but I'm going to be a little careful. I never really thought that I would my ever move to Kansas.
Yeah,
It's just we know what we know.
right.
So it's interesting how I've being taken there. Maybe I could maybe Mizzou could hire me on to kind of secretly grow their brand in Kansas.
Well,
But
I was going to tell you that is that actually it is, coming living in Kansas for, my younger years and then moving here. The people in Missouri are much more hostile towards Kansas and but you were correct. K-State is much more hostile towards Kansas than they are
yeah,
Mizzou. So it's very interesting.
yeah, it should
Very
be
interesting.
interesting. Yep.
Good. Well, Coach, I appreciate it. I want to give you final words. Anything else you want to share? Any shout outs, anything like that, and then we'll close out the program.
Yeah, I think I've already kind of said it, but just to reiterate, I just thank everybody that's been part of this journey, part of this story here in Jefferson City, and I take a lot of memories with me, and a lot of relationships, connections. I hope to stay connected with people from Jeff City, and Jeff City has a special place in my heart, and
Mm,
I'll stay connected best we can. But I just appreciate everybody that has contributed and bought in, and whether
mm,
it's with the athletic programs or just getting behind me in the classroom. Uh, my church family has been amazing. Um, it's just it's been a very important part of me as a person.
mm-hmm.
So I don't take that lightly. And I tend to be kind of a nostalgic person, maybe a little bit more nostalgic than my wife Jennifer. But those are important to me. Memories are important, so I'll take those with me, and I look forward to staying connected with people. And I just thank you too, Kirk. I just thank the supporters for this program, for Sports Locker and Sports Locker Magazine and One Nation. I think this is really important to have a program and a publication that allows young people to come on and talk about their journey, talk about how they did what we saw them do on the field or on the court, but also be able to kind of talk about their faith. I think this is an extremely important part of being an athlete, being a person, is to be able to talk about that freely. So thank you for providing that platform,
Absolutely.
and to all the supporters that support Kirk's program. I thank you for that as well. So just a real big thank you from me to everyone.
Yeah. Well, from all of us to you, thank you. And we're looking forward to what lies ahead for you. And we will set up a time once you get out there. We'll set up a time and we'll do an interview. Probably not during the fall when you're so busy. We won't do that. Maybe
Yeah,
after.
probably not.
Yeah. All right.
I always
If
make
you'll,
time for you, Kirk.
yeah. Well, I appreciate you. Well, I'll visit with you really quickly after close out the program. But again, thank you for being on here, and we greatly appreciate you. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. Happy New Year.
All right. I'll see you in just a moment. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us tonight on One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. Like I said, one of the greats, Coach Scott Blake of Jefferson City High School. And I know that the players and the faculty and the fans and the parents are going to relish his last season there at Jefferson City High School. So looking for good things happening with the girls soccer program, and then good things beyond at Manhattan Christian College. So again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Make sure that you share this with your friends so that they're able to be able to see what a great guy Coach Scott Blake is, and just be able to hear his heart. And we appreciate him, and we appreciate you joining us tonight. All right, I'm your host, Kirk DeMars. It has been One Nation of Sports Soccer Magazine Extra. God bless you. Happy New Year, and we will see you next week.